last but not least, Nier. What is your series?
Yeah, so I watched Revenger.
Not to be confused
Is
with
this
Tokyo
Tokyo? Yeah,
Revengers.
is this Tokyo
Yeah,
Yeah.
Revengers?
Yeah, it's not Tokyo Revengers. This is Revenger singular.
yeah.
Except there
Why does that no one remember
multiple Revengers in the show.
Also, there's
Um,
a 2018 film called Revenger, but
yeah,
that's
yeah,
also different. Yeah.
yeah. This is a Nitro Plus, Gen Urobuchi.
Nitro Plus?
Yes,
Is this
this is
I
original?
like
this is Nitro
stuttered.
Plus. This is main studio produced Ajiado.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this
I
is
did
a Gen
known for doing
Urobuchi project.
Iskai Mao Toshokan Shoujo, the summon demon lord or whatever it is. They did
Yep.
Kakushigoto as well. And they did
Yeah.
Kimono
Bookworm.
Kimono
Jihen.
Jihen.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
This is
Yes.
directed by Masaya Fujimori, who also did Kimono Jihen. Yeah, he worked on Iskai Mao.
Okay.
You said Gen Urobuchi, right? I've never heard
Yes,
of this guy.
so this
What has
is
he done?
script, original creation, and series composition by the one and only Gen Urobuchi. You may have heard of him. He's the man behind Psychopaths,
Kamen Rider
Madoka.
Gaiden.
The only good Fate anime?
The first
Damn,
episode,
that is kind of true.
the first episode of I'll Know Zero, and Fate
Thunderbolt
Zero,
Fantasy?
Yeah,
Thunderbolt
well,
and
Fantasy,
also
sir?
yeah, also Thunderbolt Fantasy. A man of many
Talents.
talents, yes, and also the officially licensed Equilibrium fan fiction,
Oh my
published by
god.
Nitro Plus. But
God
yeah, so
damn
this
it.
is a I guess action, like mystery action series.
Yes.
The main premise is our main character, Kurima Raizo, um, has just basically done an assassination on behalf of his lord, because he's a samurai, and the person he just killed is his father-in-law. And the reason
Okay.
he did the assassination is he was told that his father-in-law is essentially partaking in the opium trade with foreigners. Um, and so he kills his father-in-law, and he feels really bad about it. And then he talks to this guy, Usui Yuen, who is another one of our main characters. And he says, I feel bad about that. And Usui goes, okay, go away, essentially. And he's like, okay, thanks for listening to me. And then as he's traveling back to, I guess his, castle or whatever, he gets ambushed, and it essentially is revealed that he's been betrayed, and he's been lied to.
Okay.
He gets shot. He jumps into a river. He gets saved by Usui and crew, and they essentially reveal themselves to be um, effectively assassins. They do quote unquote odd jobs, and one of their clients was actually Raizo's father-in-law, because he was investigating the opium trade. He wasn't actually, partaking in it. And then they ask for Raizo's help to essentially kill the lord that Raizo was working for. He agrees, but he tricks Usui and the others, so that way he can kill the lord himself. And then the episode ends.
Okay.
But yeah, so the first episode is basically just a rough introduction of the characters. It doesn't really introduce many of the characters. It mostly just introduces Raizo and Usui. The other characters in like the crew, which are like the Shota dude, um, Soji, who's like Gambit. He fucking throws like cards and it kills people. Um, and some like ninja dude with glasses. Um, they aren't really introduced. They're kind of just there, um, which
So
I found kind of
can I
I found kind of cool because it's like obviously if you're being sort of hired to do a job, you're not going to be introduced to every character around you, right?
okay.
But yeah,
Can I ask just a very quick question about the setting? Is this like Edo, because you mentioned both samurais and guns. I'm guessing this is like Edo period, Tokugawa Ieyasu kind of stuff, longer in samurai feudal, or like
So they
what's the setting?
say that the Warring States period is over. Like it's over.
Okay.
So this is like at the end of the Warring States. But yeah,
Yeah, so it's like
it's
1600
still
onward ish.
yeah, it's still like the time of samurai, but they're
Mhm.
essentially being phased out.
Okay.
But yeah.
Alright.
I'm also not sure if this is really going for like
Historical
like a
accuracy.
historically
Yeah,
accurate thing because
it's because
there
I
was
yeah
there was one shot of like the horizon and there was like this huge like medieval looking castle and I was like,
yeah.
huh? Like that's not
Yeah,
Japanese.
so there's actually a part, there's a section in the Wikipedia page for this, the English Wikipedia page for this called production. And by the way, you probably won't get this like production section in like most series that aren't like Gen Urochi
Yeah,
related, but Urobuchi Gen fans are freaks, so they made this
of course,
section.
of course.
And so I'm going to read this. The series is meant to show both Western and Eastern culture, according to director Fujimori Masaya, while the style is meant to give the idea of quote unquote cool. Writer
I
Urobuchi Gen
love that, man.
Writer Urobuchi Gen wrote it with the hope that it will properly appeal to the audience. God, whoever wrote this Wikipedia page is really. Anyways, with the hope that it would properly appeal to the audience based on the several concepts he came across. Across, whatever.
Yeah.
Since getting involved in the project, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, give me a second. Um, yeah, tricky plot twist. Yeah, so it kind of seems like okay. So speaking from Fujimori's own experience with media from his early days, he's trying to recreate the experience of watching period dramas and criminal dramas that aired during the Showa era, and update the experience for the present time because of
Show
looser
or
regulations.
like
Yeah,
Zatoichi the Blind Swordsman. I saw that movie. It's pretty
yeah, stuff
cool.
like that. Because of looser regulations, new cinema and macaroni western programs that aired on television back then were full of surprises, and audiences did not know what would happen next. So yeah, God, this is literally just like a copy and paste of some random interview.
Yeah,
But
probably.
So
yeah,
near.
so it kind of feels like it's just like the director as well as Udobochi didn't really care, and they just kind of tried to throw in some stuff, but
Yeah,
it
they're
kind
not
of
really going for historical
yeah,
accuracy. I think they're just going for rule of cool.
samurai with guns. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like
Which is fine.
there's samurai. There's gonna be
Period drama.
Westerners.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Giant
it's
enemy
just gonna be
crab.
yeah. I don't think they're gonna do like supernatural stuff really. Although they might. I don't know. They haven't really indicated anything like that. There's no real hints of that in the first episode.
No fancy supernatural powers yet.
No, not yet. The most like out there thing is the Shota character, Neo, I think his name is. He
Yeah.
uses a
Neo.
like kite string as a weapon. And then the other dude, the white haired dude, Usui, he's like it's actually very interesting, because they do this thing obviously where they sort of introduce all the characters' fighting styles, right? As they sort of, attack the castle or whatever. And Usui, I'm not really sure what his attack was. So he has this like gold film kind of thing, right? And it's about the size of his hand, and he slaps it on this dude's face, and it gets like stuck to his face, and he like can't breathe, right? So he effectively puts like a plastic bag over this dude's head, and then he kind of just stands there and like prays to like Saint Maria or whatever.
What?
So he's like Catholic or something, which is it's kind of cool. He's got like this sweet back tattoo. But yeah, the dude kind of just suffocates. So I'm not really sure if that's like his fighting style or if that's just like something they wanted to show that like he has. But yeah, it's very very odd. But yeah,
I thought when you said you were gonna like they put the like bag over him, I thought he was gonna like go full like Denzel Washington action
no,
movie and just like
he kind of just stands there as the dude like flails around because he can't
yeah.
see, he can't breathe, and then he kind of just dies.
Okay.
It's really weird because like
But you mean
yeah,
near his
it's very
ki?
odd because
Near it's called a ki, and it's very important in martial
yeah,
arts.
but like, so he puts it on his face, right? And he can't breathe for a while, and then all of a sudden he looks like a zombie. Like he just like rapidly dehydrates or something, and then he collapses. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they'll
So
explain
that
that
part
later,
is,
but
I guess, supernatural.
it could be. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's just like a really weird way of depicting somebody like strangling.
Getting
Um,
revenge.
But yeah. Um,
Mhm.
He's
yeah.
a revenger, Nier. He got
It-
revenged.
this series is very much like Rule of Cool.
Yeah,
Like
just like things happening. It's fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
like at the end of the episode, when
Is this
Raizo
is this like, by the way, is this like a monster of the, because I think this is also kind of important to the structure. Is this like a monster of the episode, monster of the week kind of thing?
I'm not
There's
100% sure.
There's
I
only
have
one episode out, right?
Yeah, there's only one episode. It kind of feels like that with the first episode because they
Yeah.
wrap up like the first job, and then I assume
Because this
Raizo,
probably works best with a monster of the week kind of structure.
yeah, or
right?
like mini arcs or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, like because the first episode is effectively just like introduction of the general like world and characters, and then um they do like the first job, and then sort of Raizo is implied to be like, they're gonna like scout him basically.
Wow, just like the beginning of a Kamega Kill.
Yeah, but yeah, like at the end of the episode when Raizo like kills the lord he was working for, he like it's really cool, but it sounds really dumb when I like describe it. He like moves at like the fucking speed of sound, and he does like this sonic boom behind him, and then he like cuts him in
What?
half,
Heck yeah.
and then
That's pretty cool.
he cuts him in half, and then he does like the Resident Evil movie, like the laser hallway where they slowly like fall apart.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
you could
yeah,
also
they
literally
do
say that was also what's his name shit in Chainsaw Man just now too.
yeah, yeah.
Fittingly so.
But
Katana
yeah.
Man.
but yeah, they're very much going for like cool.
Yeah, that's, which is again fine. Yeah.
Yeah. The overall, it's definitely a much better first impression of this series than I thought it was going to be. Because, like, when we were covering this in the previews, it looked stupid, right? Like it looked really dumb. I really thought this was going to kind of just be like another like edgy version of that one series I covered that was like the fake Shinsengumi or whatever with the magical swords.
Oh, yeah, with the weird hair. Yeah.
Yeah, I really thought it was kind of just gonna be another one of those where it's just like all the characters are just really dumb archetypes.
But don't worry, Nier. It's because it's Gen Urobuchi. He writes
Yeah,
realistic characters. Just like
yeah. I will say like they are a lot more toned down than I expected them to be. The main character isn't quite as broody as I thought it was gonna be, although that could change
What do
very
you mean by
quickly.
it not being as? You mean like not having like constant like internal monologues and stuff like that, or like
He's not like whatever. Like
yeah,
he's
yeah,
not
okay.
one of those.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he very
He
obviously
doesn't crack jokes all the time, but it's like
yeah,
he's also
like
not like
he very obviously
moody. Yeah.
cares about like uh being a samurai and like having honor and like doing what's right.
Yes.
But he's not flippant. He's not like for a spiky haired samurai that's dressed in fucking black and red.
Mhm.
Like you sort of get a mental image of what that character sort of behaves like, but he doesn't. Surprising.
Yeah.
so Nier. Who would win in a fight? Him or Batosai?
I don't know, probably Batosai. But yeah.
It's Ki Nier.
But yeah, I don't know, like I said, it's a good first impression. But in terms of like where it could go, I mean, it's Genrobushi, it could go literally anywhere, right? And
It could honestly go fall. By the way, when I almost said Toast Nier is saying that he's not joking. This guy, like this guy, the main character, he gets screwed in the ass in like first 3 episodes. Like Neo could get screwed in the ass in the first. Like who
yeah,
knows?
I
with
mean, like
Genrobushi.
for all we know, Gen Urobuchi leaves this project next episode. Like,
yeah, the Aldo Zero
like
Classic.
he has done it before. So
Wait, I
um,
forget. Did he do that with Recreators? I forget. I
I
feel
don't.
like no, he wasn't involved in Recreators. It was the Aldo. It was the Troika. It was just the rest of the
Yeah,
Troika
it was
team
just
that was involved.
Troika.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
I will say, just as a last bit, like for a story, the biggest red flag of this series for sure is the very end of episode 1. The main character sees his wife commit suicide. So
Okay.
yeah, that could just really nosedive what was initially set up for the main character, but hopefully
I mean, the
not.
thing is, it's again,
Um,
it's still not that surprising because it's Urobuchi, but
yeah,
like where Urobuchi goes with this is the bigger part,
yeah,
right?
yeah, for
I
sure.
think honestly, if Urobuchi really sticks to this philosophy that he and the director agreed on, which is like the rule of cool, just like sticking to that, being a little bit more episodic, being a little bit more tight on the reins, right? I think it'll be honestly fine. But what I'm afraid of is more than just like it being cheesy and rule of cool. I think if it does that, it's fine. But you know how Gen Urobuchi likes to be a little bit more grandiose, right?
Yeah,
And character the regardless of how I mean, first off, there some of the character developments that he creates suffers under when he starts to wax grandiose, wax eloquent. Um, but I think also if he does that in this series, it's not going to fit it as much as him just doing cheesy stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah. So we'll probably have to watch out for that. Audio visuals. What do you think about it?
They're solid. They're serviceable.
Mhm.
Nothing really looks bad. They're not like amazing or anything.
Right.
But yeah, the action was decent. The backgrounds are pretty nice actually.
Mhm.
The characters, I mean, they all move fluidly. The designs are pretty cool in my opinion. But yeah, overall, I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Ajiro
And I think
Do doing,
Ajay Do, yeah,
yeah,
when
they're
when
doing
they
pretty good
needed to
work.
pull in, yeah, it's not like I mean, like sure that they've done stuff like Kakushigoto or whatever, right? Like small, like more quieter series. I think a couple of smaller series that have required action, like Kimono Jihen or Isekai
Yeah,
Mao to Shokan Shoujo, stuff like that. Um, they have, and I think Izetta had some pretty good scenes
yeah,
as well,
yeah,
right? Like the flying scenes were pretty freaking good.
yeah,
Um, they've pulled it out when they needed to. So yeah,
yeah.
pretty good.
So it definitely looks solid. But yeah, I think overall it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Mhm.
If you're a fan of samurais, uh, you know, God knows
It's doing cool stuff.
we don't
Yeah,
have enough samurai anime.
bro, we need more sword
Yeah,
characters.
but
How many Sengoku period things has Urobuchi done already? The
The thing
second
is,
or the third?
he probably he I think had I don't know whether he's ever mentioned it in his interviews or anything like that, but he does have a hankering for these sorts of period dramas, right? Else he wouldn't have done something
yeah,
like Thunderbolt Fantasy.
yeah.
So
Um,
this is what, 3?
Probably
Um,
at least two or three, right?
yeah.
If not more. But I'm not sure because a lot of the again, I don't think his did he was Muramasa under Urobuchi? Muramasa was Muramasa Nitropus, right? It wasn't a 5PB, mean? Or was it one of the
Yeah, but
collabs or what?
I don't think that was Urobuchi. I think that was
Okay,
somebody.
okay.
Well,
Um
Yeah,
I'm
that was Nature Plus.
okay, but
Gaim is a period drama. You can't get over
Check.
that.
and it
Then
says, yeah.
so is this.
Yeah.
Did he do Cabaneri? I don't think he did Cabaneri, right?
No.
Yeah, no.
Is
But yeah.
Madoka a period drama?
It's more dramatic than one. It has more like random twists than the
Hold
period
on.
drama.
Near
Sure.
is Fate Zero a period drama?
Um,
Period of 1980, right? 1980, right?
I think so. Yeah. I guess not really. Like,
1990.
there's not really much about like the period, like the time outside of like just the general aesthetics, really.
And also,
1990
and I think Fate Zero is a lot less like
1995. Damn, I was wrong.
like suddenly surprised, like
Yeah.
duh, like that. Like,
I mean, it's also very like Fate's story is very sort of disconnected from like the normal world, right? So
yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, any last words on Revenger?
Not really. Again, I think it's something definitely worth
What's
keeping
your
an
what's
eye
your
on.
rating?
For episode 1, I mean, I'd probably give it a solid 8. I think
Okay.
it was pretty good.
So you're saying this is the best first episode of any Gen Urobuchi produced anime ever, huh?
To be fair, that's not that high of a bar, right?
I don't know,
Is
man.
it?
I've seen one that was pretty good. And Nier knows the one I'm talking about.
I mean, Fate Zero's first episode is really strong. I
Yeah,
think.
40 minutes,
Yeah.
right?
I think. I mean, I actually don't remember what Psychopath's like first episode had. I should probably rewatch Psychopath. But I mean, overall, I don't know how you'd really top Fate Zero, but this is a good first
That's
episode
fair.
for sure.
That's fair.
Is again, this is Revenger, done by Ajido, and I believe the original idea came from Gen Urobuchi slash Nitro Plus working on it, and so kind of period drama inspired, but it's supposed to have sort of West and East elements, just kind of cool samurai guns, like a little bit of supernatural stuff, just people running around, lopping off heads, doing whatever, being angry, uh, being loud, stuff like that. So yeah, if you like all of that, please do check it out. Electromaster says Psychopaths. Does Psychopaths? Was Psychopaths Urobuchi?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I keep forgetting that Psychopaths is actually Urobuchi, but I should have realized that.
He
Yeah.
was the original creator, I believe.
Is Psychopaths okay? So my question is Psychopaths now a more like Gaim aside, right? Is Psychopaths more of a representation of Urobuchi and his like overall thing than like Uta is? What is his most representative work? I almost think again this could also be like a side
I would say
cast.
Madoka.
You think Madoka is really?
I would think so.
Oh
mean,
yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can
I
see
mean,
that.
I'm not really a fan of Madoka, so it's like
Yeah. No. That's
Yeah.
not. Yeah, that wasn't the question. I was just asking. Like, if you
yeah, but
if you're
in
like,
terms of
okay,
like what
boom.
I think most people associate like Gen or Ibuchi with, it would
Yes.
be either Madoka or Fate Zero.
Yes.
Because
yes.
I believe
Yeah.
Madoka is really kind of like the series that gave him the Urobutcher like title. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fucking.
I
That guy.
love episode 3
What
of
a
Yeah.
Madoka.
So
Yeah. Anyways, again, that was Revenger singular.
yeah, singular.
Do not search Revengers because that is Tokyo. You'll get Tokyo Revengers, and also don't search Revenger film because then that's the I believe it's a South Korean film or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you, Nier, for covering it. I do think this is a very interesting series. I'll probably be checking it out pretty shortly.